back to coding stuff, and in the last video we have created these three designs. So if you haven't watched that video, link in the I button and also in the description box. So if you want to see how we created this design, you can check out that video. But if you want to see just the code, so stay here. Okay, so first of all I need to change this buttons text. So instead of set code, we'll write here verify code, and also this hint. So hint will be enter OTP. Okay, so I have already connected this app to the Firebase. So now we have to add authentication to our app. So I will open assistant here and click on authentication, email and password, and click on add Firebase authentication to your app. Click on accept changes. So if we want to use phone authentication in our app, we need to enable it in our Firebase. So I have connected my app to this phone auth project. Now I will click on authentication and click on sign in method. Okay, get started. So we have this phone, it is disabled now. So we'll click on this pane and click enable, click on save. Okay, so now I will click on docs. So go to the docs and get started for Android. So authentication, Android, and phone number. Okay, so before you begin, add your project to Firebase and add this dependency. So we have already done that part. Phone authentication sign in. Okay, we have done that. Now enable app verification. So this is important. So we have two options for that, safety net and reCAPTCHA verification. So reCAPTCHA verification is not good for phone authentication, I think. So we'll use safety net here. So for that purpose, we have to enable this and Android device check API in Google Cloud, and also we have to add SHA 256 and SHA-1 key to our project. So first of all, I will click on this Android device check API. So now you have to select your project from here. So my project name is phone auth, so I will search for phone auth. Okay, so it's here. Click on that and enable Android device verification. Click on enable. If you can't see this, just search your Android device verification and make that API enable. Okay, so now we have successfully enabled the Android device verification for our phone auth project. So I have closed that. Okay, so now in project overview, click on this setting icon and project setting, and here you have to add SHA keys. So click on add fingerprint and then open your Android Studio and click on this grader over here on the right side corner and click on your application and then task and then Android and signing reports. So this is the SHA-1 key. Just copy this SHA-1 key and paste it over here. Save. And also the SHA-256 key from here till here. Copy it and click on add fingerprint. Ctrl V. Save. So all the things are done. Now we just have to write the code. So we'll open our Android Studio. Let me just minimize all. Okay, so first of all we'll implement our main activity. So in the main activity we just have this logout button, so we want the user to log out from this activity. So first of all I will create one button, so private button, and we'll name it as mlogout button, and then private Firebase auth, let's name it as mauth. So we'll find ID of our logout button. So mlogout button equals to find view by ID r.id.logout button. and then mauth equals to firebase auth dot get instance. Okay, so we have to override first on start method, so it will check if the user is not null. So for that we'll write firebase user current user equals to mauth dot get current user. So it will check if user is logged in or not. So if this current user is equals to null, means he has not logged in, so he can't access the main activity. So we'll just write here start activity new intent, and this will be main activity dot this the context, and then we have to send him to login activity. So login activity dot class, and we can finish here. Okay, so finish. So now just set on click listener to our mlogout button. So mlogout button set on click listener new on click listener, and here we just have to write mauth dot sign out. That's it. And after this sign out we can send the user to login activity. So just copy this code and paste it over here. Cool, so that's it for main activity. Now we'll just close this. Okay, so now we have to implement login activity. So we have to edit text and one button and one text view. So we'll collect their IDs. So now we'll find their IDs. So send button. So we have finded all the IDs. So first of all, we'll just override on start method. In this method, we also check if the user is logged in or not. So for that, we'll create Firebase Auth instance. So Firebase Auth, let's write here Auth, and just after this, Auth equals to Firebase Auth dot get instance. Here we have to create current user. So Firebase user, let's name it as user auth dot get current user, and we'll check if this user is not null. So if the user is not null, then send to main. We'll call this method over here, and we'll just create that method over here. So private void send to main, and in here we'll just create one intent. So intent equals to new intent, let's name it as main intent. So main intent, then start activity, we'll pass this main intent over here, and we have to pass here context. So login activity dot this and main activity dot class, and then we'll just write here finish. So user can't get back here. Okay, so now we'll add on click listener to our msend OTP button. So msend OTP button dot set on click listener new on click listener, and inside this we'll collect country code and phone number first. So string country code equals to country code edit dot get text dot to string, and then string, let's name it as a phone. So phone number edit dot get text dot to string. So then we have to create complete phone number. So string phone number equals to first the plus sign, then concat it with country code, then plus, and then space, then plus our phone string. Okay, so this is complete phone number. We'll be using this few minutes later. Okay, so after that we'll check if this country code and phone is not empty. So if country code dot is empty, or this phone is empty. So if both are not empties, we'll write else condition here. So inside the else condition, we'll just set a text to process text. So we'll write here, please enter country code and phone number, and we'll set the color of this text. So set text color, so color will be red, color dot red. And also we have to visible this text view, so process text dot set visibility, and we'll pass a visible. So if the country code and phone is not empty, then we can write some code over here. So we have to write phone auth options, and options equals to phone auth options dot new builder, and we have to set some properties over here. First we have to pass here our authentication instance, so auth, then dot set phone number, so set phone number, and we'll pass here phone number, so complete phone number, and then dot set timeout. So we have to pass here long, so I'll pass here 60 capital L, and then you have to pass here time unit, so time unit dot seconds, this one, and then we have to just set the activity, so context, so that will be login activity dot this, and then dot set callbacks. So we have to create this. For now we'll just write here m callbacks, and then lastly we have to just write here build, and then semicolon, and after this we have to write phone auth provider dot verify phone number, and we'll pass here options. Okay, so that's it. Now we have to create this m callback, so over here we'll create that. So private phone auth provider dot on verification state change callbacks, and we'll write here m callbacks. So just after this on click list, now over here we'll write m callbacks equals to new phone auth provider dot on verification state change. So it will provide us two methods to implement: on verification completed and on verification failed. And also we'll add another method that will be on code sent, so user can manually write the OTP, so on code sent, and we just have to write here semicolon. Okay, so we got three methods to implement. On verification completed means verification will be done automatically. So here we just have to call one method that will be send the user to main activity, and it will sign in the user. Okay, so we'll come back here later. First we'll implement on code send. Let me write some comments here. So sometimes the code is not detected automatically, so user has to manually enter the code, and it is good practice. So first of all, what we can do, we'll just set some text to our process text. So set text, and this will be OTP has been sent. Then we can just visible this, so process text dot set text and visible. Then we have to create one intent, so intent OTP intent, let's write it OTP intent, new intent, and we'll pass here login activity dot this, and the OTP activity dot class, and we have to pass some data from here to the OTP activity, that is the verification code. So OTP intent dot put extra, so key will be auth and the value will be s. So this s is coming from here. This is the verification code, and then we can just start the activity. So start activity, and we'll pass OTP intent there. Okay, so that's it for the on code send method. And then in on verification field, just set our process text, so set text, and over here we can just write e dot get message, and then process text dot set text color this will be color.red, and then we can just make it visible, so set visibility, and this will be visible. So that's it for on verification failed. So for this method we have to create another method. So just after this same to main method, so let's name it as private void sign in, and in this method we have to pass phone auth credentials. So just write here phone auth credentials and credentials. So we just have to call this auth. So auth dot sign in with credentials, so this one, and here we have to pass these credentials. Then we can add on complete listener to this. So add on complete listener, new on complete listener. So we'll check if the task is successful. So if task is successful, then pass the user to the main activity. So send to main, we'll call this function. So we can write here else condition. So else, so in else, let me just copy that. Okay, so this set text and set text color visibility, we'll just copy this and we'll paste here. Okay, so instead of e.get message, we can write task dot get exception dot get message. So, and lastly this semicolon. So that's it for login activity. Also we can do one thing. Okay, so we have to call that method over here. So sign in, and we have to pass this phone auth credentials coming from here. Okay, as soon as code has been sent, our app will navigate us to the OTP activity. So we can just add delete to this, so it will give chance to on verification completed. So over here just write new handler dot post delete, and inside this we'll write new runnable, and we'll just write here semicolon, and we can pass the duration. So duration will be 10 seconds, so 10,000 milliseconds. So this much of duration is enough to auto detect the code. So now we can just copy these 3 lines and we can paste it over here. Okay, so that's it for the login activity. Now we can close this class and this one also. So now we'll click on OTP activity and also the activity OTP. So over here we just have one edit text and one button. So we'll collect their IDs first. And also we have to create one string, so that will receive the OTP, actual OTP. So let's make it capital OTP. Okay, so we'll find the IDs first. So verify button equals to find view by ID r.id dot verify button, verify code button, and then OTP edit find view by ID r.id. Then we have to receive this OTP. So OTP equals to get intent dot get string extra, and we can pass the key here. So auth, we just have to add on click listener to our verify code button. So set on click listener, new on click listener. So inside this we first have to collect this OTP edit string. So let's create one string. Let's name it as verification code equals to OTP edit dot get text dot to string, and then we can just check if this verification code is not empty. So verification code dot is empty. If verification code is not empty, then phone auth credentials, let's make credential, and then phone auth provider dot get credential, and we have to pass 2 parameters here. So first will be that OTP that has been sent from login activity, and the another one that is verification code. So it will check both matches or not. Then we can call that sign in method. So just write here sign in, and we'll pass here credential. and you can write here else condition. So else will display one toast. So the toast will be please enter the OTP. So we can just copy that method from our login activity. So this one, just copy it and we'll paste that method over here. So we have to create auth. So private Firebase auth, and let's name it as Firebase auth. And just after this we'll initialize it. So Firebase auth equals to Firebase auth dot get instance, and instead of auth we can write here Firebase auth, and we'll create this method. So here's no process text, so we can display one toast that verification failed. And we'll create this method over here. So private void send to main. So start activity new intent. So OTP activity dot this to main activity dot class. So main activity dot class, and then we can write finish here. Sorry, finish. And also we can check in onStart method that user is logged in or not. So Firebase user, current user equals to Firebase auth dot get current user, and we'll check if the current user is not null. If this is not null, then send to main. So we have done everything. Let me check login activity. Okay, so we have made one mistake here. So instead of set text, we have to write here set visibility. Okay, so now everything is fine. We can click on this run button. Before that, we'll click on this app. And one thing, our phone authentication will not work on the emulator, so you have to connect your app to you have to install your app to the real device. So I have connected my device. So now I will click on this run button, and our app has been installed. So now I will just enter country code, that is 91, and so now I will click on send code. I have entered my number. So OTP has been sent, and you can see we have received the OTP, but it is not able to, but you have seen that it was not able to auto verify. So we have to enter the verification code manually. So it is 769328. Let me enter the wrong one, so click on verify code. So verification failed, you can see. Then 328, click on verify code. So you can see it has been navigate us to the main activity. So now I can click on logout, and let's test with another number. So this is my another number. So I will click on send code. So OTP has been sent, you can see. Again, it is not able to auto verify. So we have to enter the code manually again. So 999547. Click on verify code. Okay, so our app is working. So now I will click on logout. So that's it, and do subscribe. I will be uploading more tutorials like this, and I will create one big application using Firebase as a backend in upcoming days. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. So that's it. Thank you for watching.